Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this Tuesday edition of NMH at 1. I'm your host, Priska Agnolo, and let's get the show started. Starting off with our COVID-19 monitor. Namibia by Sunday officially still had more than 2,000 persons actively carrying the novel coronavirus. This, of course, excludes any unconfirmed as well as asymptomatic cases. Recoveries have surpassed 37,000 since our report last week, but the recovery rate only improved slightly from 93% to 94%, rounding off to the nearest 10. Kavango West is the region in the country with the smallest number of active cases, only 13. This region consists of only one health district, that of Nkandu. The Shikoto region seems to be out of the woods with only 120 active cases remaining compared to almost 500 the Sunday before, but increases occurred in Khomas, where active cases more than doubled from 106 a week ago to 258, as well as the Kunene, Ohangwena and Oshotonjupa regions. These increases are due to more cases being reported in specific locations like Okahanja. Active cases in the Karas region also decreased by about half, from 130 a week ago to less than 70. On a concerning note, more cases are again being reported amongst healthcare workers. Join us at lunch tomorrow for these details. Moving into our video segments for today. Esther Kamati sat down with Pascal Jonas, the owner of Hadassah Bed and Breakfast in Oshwarongo, to discuss how business has been in the hospitality sector so far. Despite the challenges, he said he is grateful for his local clientele, which has kept him afloat in the absence of tourists.
For me, when there is a crisis, you have opportunity and risk.
Yeah.
I know the risk. After it's to me to take the opportunity, and the opportunity is when I have a new request for quotation by a new company. I try to receive very well, and
yeah.
For me it's important. Maybe if the activity restart, I take back my housekeeper.
Yeah.
Because we don't change, and all the staff here is old since the beginning. Sometimes are here since 10 years.
Yeah.
Like I say, for me it's almost the same beginning of the year than last year, and last year it was my best beginning of the year since 5 years, till the first lockdown in Windhoek. In fact, we worked very good last year till 20 March, and February was good last year, and this year is good. I don't complain, because normally since we buy this guest house, February was a little bit quiet normally. It's just the restarting of the economy, and in the past, March was totally fully operational, yes.
Okay.
I don't count January because we are open only 15 days. It's not a lot of room. And before last year, February was just for the starting. But last year and this year, I don't complain.
Okay.
No tourist. Huh? Okay, there is no tourist.
At all?
No.
Okay.
Donc, in fact, I work with some tour operator, but they cancel all the trip for the moment till April this year. Booking.com, I make a big discount, but I don't receive a booking from Booking.com. I have one in December and maybe one in February. Imagine normally Booking.com for me in big months in the past it was 25% of my activity. I think Booking have a big economic problem.
Okay.
Because nobody travel and nobody pass by them, and maybe the people now understand it's not necessary to book before. Donc, when I have tourists, sometimes they arrive in the gate, they ring the bell,
Yeah.
and they ask if I have availability, but they don't, and they prefer to ask a discount. When the tourists arrive without booking, they say, "Oh, can you make a discount?" I say yes.
Our correspondent in Keetmanshoop, Elizabeth Joseph, chatted to Charmaine Blow, who started the Broodblik Bakery a few years ago. She shares what her customers like.
Goeiemiddag, ek is Charmaine Blow van Keetmanshoop en dit is my voorreg dat ek my videoetjie kan share met julle. Ek het die broodblik begin. Dit is ja, is maar net tuis gebak, maar meer in die sin van brode. En omdat bak vir my 'n passie is, ek het dit oorgeerf by my ouma. Sy het vir my geleer die ou tydse stinksuurdeegbrood bak op die plaas en dit was nog altyd vir my 'n passie gewees. En ek het my kinders grootgemaak daarmee en hulle sal kom en sê, "Ooh, mamma, die lekker geur van brood hang in die kombuis en ons soek tog jam by." Ag, en dit het my gemotiveer want daai geluk op hulle gesiggies altyd en as my man van die werk af kom en hy ruik hierdie brood en hy sê, "Ooh, vandag eet ons huiskos." Was dit vir my baie lekker geweest om die ervaring daarvan. So ek het besluit as ons dit kan geniet, dan kan ek dit mos deel met die gemeenskap ook. En ek het toe begin brode bak, eers die stinkbroodjies gebak en daarvan af het ons begin eksperimenteer en gedurende corona was dit nou 'n goeie tyd vir ons geweest met die lockdown by die huis om te sit en te eksperimenteer met dan nou al wat 'n resepie is. En my man is die eintlike een wat die resepte gevat het en dan sê hy kyk 'n bietjie hierna en kyk 'n bietjie daarna en so het ons gemix en match en ons eie resepies gebou op die ou end. En ja, dit is wat ek nou verkoop in Keetmanshoop.
In our third video, Herman Shindume, a grade 11 learner from Gabriel Tapopi Secondary School in Ogwediva, outlines the struggles and difficulties learners and teachers face during the COVID-19 pandemic. Tunohole Mungomba spoke to him.
A very blessed day to you all. Standing here is Herman Shindume in LRC at Gabriel Tapopi Senior Secondary School. I'm here to outline on very important points based on the challenges we as a school experienced last year during the pandemic year. Regulation and restrictions were hard to follow. Learners were not satisfied with learning. Simply our education was cut short. Some of the learners had to reduce their socializing with other learners. Then secondly, I'm talking about the expectations and what they had to learn. Learners expected adventurous years, hence none of this was possible. Learners expected each to have a textbook in prevention of contact with other learners. Most of the learners learned how to be independent, meaning most of the learners had to comply to everything the government had to put up, although they didn't like it. Thirdly, I'm focusing on plans we as LRCs had to put up in order to fulfill their dreams. We want to offer entertainments that lacked in their lives. Plus, we also want to side up with all the learners regardless of their abilities. Thank you.
If you're feeling how I'm feeling and you know I won't stop, all we gotta do is take our love to the top. If I got it and you want it and you'll never let it drop, all we gotta do is take our love to the top. I will ride for you, baby, even die for you. When I'm loving you, but my heart don't stop.
And now we move on to our dailies of our front pages of Namibian newspapers. Namibian Sun reports that a British billionaire allegedly shot dead an employee during a drunken braai scuffle. Harvey Bolter, who is 51 years old, is said to have threatened Gerhard van Vyk with a pistol in an argument which erupted after he drunkenly suggested that the 54-year-old's daughter-in-law owed him sex in exchange for a favor. Republican reports that national power utility NamPower is warning that non-payment of accounts by village and town councils is threatening the sustainability of its business. The utility is owed a combined 1.2 billion Namibian dollars in unpaid municipal bills. The utility intends to apply for a debt collection plan for bulk customers. Algemeine Zeitung reports spotted hyenas are widely misjudged and are therefore an important species for research to mitigate human-carnivore conflicts, according to a report prepared by the Nankuse Wildlife Reserve report. Perceptions about spotted hyenas include the belief that they overexploit certain species, which has made them a target as perceived problem animal. The Namibian reports that rapists have resurfaced in Windhoek's informal settlements. The latest incidents involved the alleged rape of 2 women, while another was almost raped after robbers broke into her family shack. The Namibian police confirmed the incidents, saying they took part Saturday night. New Era reports that public entity Transnamib is in dire financial straits, where procurement laws are circumvented with impunity, while potential human capital and pension fund irregularities exist. Transnamib Board Chair Sigrid Shikorokisa has also been instructed to institute an investigation into allegations of fraud. And moving on to the inside pages of the country's dailies. Namibian Sun says that labor expert Herbert Jauch has warned that the pre-filtration of new trade unions could disadvantage workers in the long run due to the fragmentation that could emerge as each movement scrambles for a piece of the pie. 14 new applications for trade applications were received in 2020. Republican reports that although rainfall over Namibia has cleared up somewhat recently, weather forecasts still point to average to above average rainfall for most parts of the country for April and May. Conditions for rain in Southern Africa's summer rainfall areas should also start to look better from the second part of March. Allgemeine Zeitung says the German government has started vaccinating its locals in that country against the coronavirus. The High Court trial of 2 Americans charged with the murdering of a young man in Windhoek 10 years ago hit another snag yesterday when one of the accused dismissed his defense lawyer. Murder-accused Marcus Thomas has now dropped his 6th lawyer in the murder trial. Proponents of a basic income grant have reiterated calls government to reconsider to urgently consider rolling out a monthly grant of $500 million to people aged between 19 to 59 to improve living conditions.
If you're feeling how I'm feeling and you know I won't stop, all we gotta do is take our love to the top. If I got it and you want it and you'll never let it drop, all we gotta do is take our love to the top. I will ride for you, baby, even die for you. When I'm loving you, but my heart don't stop.
And that is it for today. I've been your host, Priska Agnolo, live for NMH at 1. Do have a lovely Tuesday and please stay safe. And also stay tuned for a quick snapshot of the weather as well.